race previously in the 1,000 metres time trial where he finished 18th. The seed 4 and 5. Now, Gore was 4th in Beijing and 12th in London, and Chris Murphy, you can see on your screen, finished 8th in the 1,000 metres time trial.
The Brazilian athlete Soelito Gore being introduced.
Well, expect the crowd to go
have a listen to
berserk through this event. They're loving it.
So plenty of noise in the Velodromo Olimpico de Rio here at the moment. Men's C5 4,000 metre individual pursuit, the third heat. And from America, we have the 31-year-old Christopher Murphy, the 42-year-old from Brazil, Soelito Gore, and they are going to urge him on every single centimetre here. And he just leads after the first lap.
Well, the key here for Gore is to not go out too hard too early, because he can get a little excited, a little pumped up by the crowd. He's going to need to maintain his pace throughout the 4,000 metres rather. It's a difficult event, but certainly the crowd right behind him at the moment will give you a good update and indication of how he fares with the rest of the field at the 1,000 metre mark.
Gore's got some form, the Brazilian, just outside the medals in Beijing at the Paralympics there in the 4-kilometre pursuit, finishing in 4th place. Also decent results in time trials, but dropped a little, down 7 positions at the London 2012 Paralympic Games, finishing 11th in the individual pursuit. So he's got a little bit of redemption here. His cousin Andre has also competed in road cycling at an international level. So cycling is well and truly in the family, and this would be a big moment in front of his home crowd. And at the 1,000 metres, his time of 1:15.117 is the second fastest after 5 riders in this group.
The second fastest ride in the opening 1,000
Murphy from the United States, 1:16.448. That would sit him in 4th out of the 5 riders so far.
Soelito Gore with a tremendous opening 1,000 metres.
So Ebek's time overall to beat 4:49.644. That's what the Brazilians are hoping that Gore can produce here. And in the overall tussle, Gore held Murphy by 1.3 at the first sectional at the 1,000 metres. There's basically about a second and a half between them at the moment.
Well, you can't really see a capture happening in this heat. These riders do seem to be very closely matched, and Gore's certainly powering on. He's going to need to be able to maintain this speed over the second half of the race to have a chance for competing for a medal later on day 3.
As far as the actual tussle between these two riders, look at that. It's so close. It was 0.2. What is it at the 2,000 metre mark? It's 0.1. So it was Murphy just ahead of Gore. So the American has fought back here, and now Murphy's time is basically the quickest of the entire group of 5 at the moment. So the American has really put in.
Still another 6 riders to come after this heat, so to have any confidence that you could race for a medal, you really need to be finishing at the top of the standings thus far. And Gore has dropped a little. I suspect he may have been a little pumped up with the support of the crowd. The concern is whether he's going to be dropping off in effort. He's certainly dropping off the pace of Murphy.
So you visibly saw there that the gap has been increased by Murphy ever so much as we head towards the 2,625 metre mark. We'll get a bit of a guide here, and as it's Murphy crossing the line, it looks to be out to about 2.3 seconds now.
So the crowd really willing Gore along here. He's still got just over 1,000 metres left in this 4,000 metre event, and it's really tough going from here on. He had a particularly quick start, was leading the field. It looks as though he may have gone out slightly too hard. Let's see if he can pick it up in the final 1,000 metres.
It's out to 3.1 seconds the lead now, the 3,000 metres. Murphy 3:39.131, but interestingly has dropped behind the time of Ebek, so the Austrian still leads in the overall classification. As far as Gore is concerned, he is 3.1 off Murphy, but his time would be the 3rd fastest in the group at this stage of 5.
So Chris Murphy, the 31-year-old from the United States, he was 8th in the 1,000 metres time trial. He wants to better the performance here, and then he's going to be moving on to the road cycling. Let's see what he can achieve, and can he get there with a capture? It seems unlikely at this stage, but he now might be able to spy GOHR down the straight as he comes down this bend, and he will.
You can hardly hear yourself think inside the velodrome. The Brazilians are going ballistic for GOHR, their local hero. But that's not what Christopher Murphy's thinking about. In fact, he would love a capture here, but he wants the best time as possible. Coming around towards the finish, he will capture GOHR right on the line, but the time's important, 4:49.343. And that is the fastest. He just takes Ebeck by about 0.250 of a second. So Murphy is the quickest to date. Ebeck from Austria in second. GOHR sits in third at the moment. The time for Soelito GOHR, 4:58.969, and that whole